After being announced late last year, we now know a lot more about Season 4 of Anno 1800, my favorite game of all time. Well, at least until Hogwarts Legacy at the end of the year is released, then I can't make any promises to all of my viewers. I'm Strat Gamer, covering city building strategy games with game reviews, guides, and let's plays. Don't hesitate to click on the red button below to subscribe so you help support the channel. I also have many other Anno videos on my channel, including a new beauty building let's play that we just started with more than 80 mods, so don't hesitate to check that after this video. First thing you're all probably wondering is when can I play this Season 4? And we now know that it will be released on April 12th, so only in 2 weeks. It will start with DLC 10, which is called Seeds of Change. And honestly, the first time they said it, I thought I heard Seeds of Change, which actually is not so far away from the reality, because a big thing in this DLC is basically a New World Palace, which was like the palace introduced in Seat of Power in Season 2 for the old world. But at the same time, in this DLC, there's also a lot of content linked to the agriculture, to your farms, so seeds also definitely makes a lot of sense. This New World Palace is called the Hacienda. Similar to Town Hall and trade unions, this Hacienda has a radius, and in that radius you can build a couple of things which are said to be stronger, or apparently stronger than their old versions. It's things like residences for your jornaleros and obreros, but also farms and production buildings. I said apparently stronger because in my opinion it will all depend on if items affecting them are actually strong. And by that I mean if we can still have the old items impacting them, for example reducing the workforce, then they will be quite strong. They did mention there will be new items, but it wasn't clear if the old ones will still work, how good the new ones will be. So if those new items are actually not that strong, we could be in a bit of a similar situation with the tourist DLC, where the new stuff wasn't actually improving on the min-maxing of the old stuff. The other big thing in this DLC is they have confirmed the introduction of fertilizer, which won't be only for the new world. They have confirmed that it will also be for the old world and Mbesa. They haven't really talked about the Arctic, and the Arctic doesn't really have farms, so I think it makes sense. And this is basically a tractor slash a silo version 2. Instead of using oil or instead of using grain in your silo, now you will need to use dung, but the concept is basically the same. You add a silo to your farms, which requires these fermented dugs, and then you get a 100% productivity boost and a 1 out of 3 bonus production item. It's worth noting though that you'll be able to now have both the tractor and this new fertilizer on farm. That's quite a big boost indeed. But again, I think the items there will be quite important to see if it makes sense in terms of min-maxing. I will post in the next few days a detailed video on this DLC with all of the details, including numbers that we've seen, even if some of them could still change before release, and also all of the Easter eggs of things that you may have missed. We also know at a higher level the other 2 DLCs. The second DLC 11, called Empire of the Skies, will be released toward the summer, and it will introduce several new airships, likely bigger and faster than the current vessels that we have. And they also mentioned something big, which is that the airships won't be invulnerable anymore. In the past, the cannons that you had couldn't really touch airships. So when you were at war with pirates or AI, this was one way to be safe. But now they confirm that you won't be safe anymore. And in my opinion, it will be 2 things. I think we'll have cannons, anti-air cannons, and I think also some of the airships will have weapons on them. You will build these airships in the New World, or at least using resources from the New World. They have confirmed that. And on top of transporting goods, like all of your other vessels, they've also confirmed that some of these will be able to transport people, which basically means the equivalent of commuter peers for the New World, in my opinion. And then they also mentioned keeping your people connecting with the new mail system. I'm not 100% sure what it is. It could be an additional income stream. It could be reducing somehow the consumption because people are connected to each other. I don't know what the impact will be, but it seems that it will be something. And then the third and last DLC is usually the biggest. It will be called New World Rising for late 2022. In the past, they had already confirmed that we wouldn't get a new session. We wouldn't get, for example, the equivalent of the Cape in the new world. But now they have surprised a lot of people, including myself, by confirming that the map of the new world will actually expand. It will get bigger, and therefore you will have more islands on this same map. One important note here, because I've heard a lot of people be worried about this already, is that they have confirmed that this will be save compliant, meaning you don't have to create a new save to get this bigger map. Your old map will just expand by itself. They've also confirmed something that a lot of people were expecting, a new tier of population, a third tier for the new world. They've also confirmed a new monument, something similar to the Iron Tower. And lastly, it wasn't 100% clear, but I think we're gonna get there, is I see the equivalent of skyscraper for the new world. It may be only for the third population tier, but I think it will also be for the old population tier, or at least maybe the obreros only, where you could sort of pile them up to increase your density. Now, before I talk about the scenarios, which are very important, let me do a quick recap of what I think of this Season 4 DLCs just after watching the live stream. So maybe tomorrow after I sleep on it, my opinions will change, but for now, this is my opinion. All in all, it feels to me that Season 4 will be mainly for two types of player. One is for the min-maxers that could target an even bigger record of population, especially with this last DLC that will increase the space in the new world with a lot more new islands. But also if what I said earlier about all the items still impacting those new farms will stay true. I will mention though that I don't think it will be a huge increase, because with the Dockland today, the limit right now is actually not so much based on the new world, but mainly based on just the space in the old world to put those skyscrapers. Like players like Fox, who've reached already 9 million, have shown. And then no offense to anyone, but then I think the other type of player that will really like this Season 4 content are the noobs. And once again, by that, I mean no offense, but I mean people who have trouble managing what Anno is at its core, meaning a resource management game, where you have some constraint, you have the fertility constraint, you have the workforce constraint, those type of things. And that because of that, you need to move resource around, you have complexity. And now this Season 4 content seems to be killing a lot of those complexities. For example, by taking away the fertilities in those new farms, by having those farms require less space, by having these commuter piers in the new world. So it's just easier to survive, to succeed in the game. On the other hand, for example, for the beauty builders, I think sure it will bring a few new things and it's great. I'm sure many of them will buy it. But at the same time, with the great modding community out there, you can actually find a lot more than that for free. And lastly, for the casual player who maybe is getting a bit bored today by the game, I don't think this will really change, because it doesn't really bring a new challenge or a new meta to the game. Maybe I'm missing something. Don't hesitate to share in the comments your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. Being a min-maxer myself, I really like a lot of this content, but I can understand if others don't. Now let's talk about the scenarios. The first one was introduced in Game Update 13 at the end of last year for free, and it will be the same for those 3 new ones. One scenario will come with each DLC, but it will be for free. You won't have to buy the DLC. And to be honest, I think this is both smart and nice from the Anno team, so thank you for doing that. Unless I'm mistaken, so far we've only really heard about the first scenario, which will again come on the 12th of April, and it is called Seasons Silver, and we will follow Vasco Oliera's stories in a different part of the new world. This is someone that we've met in Sunken Treasure. I do have a lot of guides on my channel about the first scenario, the Eden Burning scenario, so don't hesitate to check them out, and I will definitely create more for this new challenge, for this new scenario, which is great to me. Because it's a lot of new mechanics, a lot of a completely new challenge, so that's what I like. In this one, we'll be able to colonize 3 different islands, because last time we only had 1, so I think that's also very cool that this time we have several. And while last time we had to deal with balancing the environment effect of our development, we have air, water and soil pollution, this time we have to deal with seasons. We have the rain season and the dry season. And the idea is you collect water during the rain season, yeah, duh, and you have to survive with that water that you collected during the dry season. Of course, you also have to do that while you're expanding your empire. you have new production chains, and you're trying to reach specific objectives with times. And the faster you are, the better you do. You'll get the gold medal, the silver medal, or the bronze medal. I will also make a detailed video on this scenario later this week, but for now, one thing I really wanted to show is those two different seasons. They have different maluses, bonuses, and they will force us to do some good planning. Like in the previous years, we'll also get several free game updates that will provide bug fixes and quality of life improvements. To be honest, I felt the live stream was a bit light on these, so I guess we'll see closer to time what it will be. Don't leave right away because I definitely have a surprise for you at the end. If this video was useful or also you're excited by this new DLC, don't hesitate to press the like button, to share comments below, I'd love to hear about it. Also, as I said, stay tuned for more detailed videos on the next DLC and scenarios. And I hope I'll be part of the technical test and the early access, so stay tuned for that. But now for the surprise, if you missed it, here's the full, beautiful 2-minute trailer for Season 4, which was released right at the end of the live stream, which is likely full of Easter eggs and new content, so I'll be looking at it closely in the next few days.
Hey Anno community! Today we are very excited to share our plans for Season 4 with you, introducing its 3 exciting DLCs and giving you an overview of some of the free updates coming in 2022.
Season 4 kicks off on April 12th with our first DLC, Seeds of Change, which allows you to revolutionize the agriculture sector of the New World. To make this possible, you'll first have to build the new powerful hacienda, which will become the agricultural hub of your empire. Fulfill your dream of having your own country estate, embellish it, and take advantage of its various modules. For example, you can now produce input goods in the New World, which helps your population become more independent. Benefit from the adoption of island-wide policies and produce high-quality fertilizer that will boost farms in both the New World and the Old World.
This summer, our second DLC, Empire of the Skies, will usher in the age of airships. Using the latest construction materials from the New World, you can build a variety of specialized airships. Optimize your logistical network by transferring goods and workers between your islands, and keep your people connected with the new mail system. Your tactical planning will also take on a whole new dimension as you and your competitors vie for aerial mastery.
Season 4 will come to its grand finale towards the end of the year, with the third DLC, New World Rising. You will not only experience the industrial and economic boom of the New World firsthand, but let your residents embrace their cultural roots and welcome a new population tier. Discover a highly demanded feature introduced with the New World Rising. Newly spotted islands offer a crucial building space to further expand your empire. You get to enjoy the sight of colorful, thriving cities and build an iconic monument as the ultimate landmark for a self-confident identity of your New World residents.
As always, each DLC will be accompanied by a free game update. Throughout the year, you will, for example, be able to further beautify your empire with orchard trees getting added to the tree painter, or to improve the organization of your ships by combining groupings. And traders will give you a friendly reminder which items you already own to prevent accidental duplicate purchases.
Last year we introduced a whole new era of challenging gameplay, scenarios. The Season 4 DLCs will add more scenarios that will present you with new challenges and adventures, and let you experience Anno 1800 from a different perspective.
Buyers of the Season 4 Pass will also receive 3 exclusive new thematically fitted ornaments, which will be available with the first DLC on April 12th.
This was all just a small preview of the content that awaits you in 2022. Thank you for your constant support and constructive feedback, some of which has directly influenced our plans for Season 4. Stay tuned and keep an eye on the Anno Union and our social media channels to make sure you won't miss anything. Happy city building!